Ladies and fellows, a very warm welcome to the formal part of the evening and the passing of the chains to our incoming President Bill.
Round of applause.
It's fantastic to see so many of you here. 64 tonight. I think that is probably the biggest attend out of the changeover for a number of years, so thank you very much for coming and checking out.
There's a lot of happy people.
I would like to make a special welcome to Kevin and Mandy Wax. Mark Davenport and Jane Fitzgerald. Angus. Yeah. And his listener, Marissa. Unfortunately, James and colleague Griffiths aren't with us tonight. Roger and Linda Mulvey. Floyd and Hannah Duplessis.
And Paul Harris.
And our new Paul Harris fellow. Our new members and your first Rotary changeover. Welcome. I'd also like to make a special mention of a fellow that came to the pre-dinner drinks, Graham and Margaret Thomas. Absolutely fantastic to see them. Tonight's not about me and the year that we've had, it's about Bill and his new team. And the journey that they are going to take us on. I know Bill's chairman a bit to get up here, slip on the chains, do his speech. But I've got a few little words that I do want to say before I do pass over the chains. At changeover last year, I set a few goals, and I thoroughly enjoyed my presidency for the year.
Good on you.
And I really am. Would very much like to thank the support of my directors and the whole club, because we have really smashed those goals.
Good on you, Paul.
I would especially like to thank the directors, Bill Livingston and the Club Service Committee. I'm sure Bill will get up and thank his committee, and they know who they are. But I would like to say, from the President's point of view, what a well-run and smooth functioning year we have had. Yep. Thank you, Bill. You have ensured that we've had fantastic speakers, informative and humorous bulletins, great sergeants, introducer, thanker, the marshals were there every week, week in, week out, and made my job easy to come up and be a speaker here at the front. Thank you all. To Stephen Eaton and his committee, Community Service, huge task to organise the helicopter function. And I'd just like to thank you very much for all your efforts. I know you've done a huge job behind the scenes without any fanfare. You've been the first to work with our event organiser, Caroline Stubbs, of Game Theme. And I'd like to thank you very much for the job that you have done for the club. Stephen Selkeld, aka Big Man. And his fellowship and membership committee. What a year of fun events we have had. Many of you will have all enjoyed the National Granada 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just a taste of what we have had. all year. And this committee has done that for the whole year. Thank you very much. It didn't just end there though. We have had a huge year of new members. 6 new members in total. Must be a record for Hastings Karamu, not only for Hastings Karamu, but for Rotary in general. The thread out there is Rotary is dying. Well, not at Hastings Karamu. We're growing and we're thriving. And a huge part of that is fellowship and enjoyment. And that is what the fellowship committee has done for us this year. Jeff Burson, who sends his apologies, is not here tonight, but Jeff and the Youth and International Committee continued fantastic relations with Hastings Intermediate, Hastings Boys High School, Hastings Girls High School, and Lindisfarne College. Identified and seeked out talented Hawke's Bay youth for us to support. Tried to pull together an exchange student for this coming year, which unfortunately didn't quite happen, but I'm sure under Bill's stewardship will happen.
He doesn't want that Swedish boy.
He wants his sister.
We have achieved a lot this year, and I could go on for a long, long time, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to give you a 60-second recap of the year. So here's the fast forward replay of the 2013-14 Rotary year. It was the year of technology. We moved our accountings and financial systems onto the cloud by bringing in the Xero accounting systems. We created a Facebook page, and if you haven't liked it and aren't following us, please do. We created the Hastings Karamu Rotary Club website, and both the website and the Facebook page were used extensively in the promotion of this year's helicopter function. Just pause that for a moment.
60 seconds.
We finally got our outward bound. We've got 2 outward bound guys away, which is actually fantastic. So, and I'll talk a little bit more about that shortly. So, but you know, there's the guys behind the scenes that I really need to just talk about, and that is the club service committee. Unsung heroes, guys, you know. They chip away and make sure everything's organised. So, one is a big thank you to the club service. You know who you are, guys.
Doesn't know who you are.
Of course they do. Everybody knows James.
Really Paul hasn't done it on his own. And he's had a wonderful lady with Joe helping him out and making those good decisions. So I really like to thank Joe and ask Joe to come up. On behalf of the club, I'd like to present Joe. And we've gone to many directors meeting at the Harveys, and Joe's always made us very welcome. So thank you very much. Now, apparently I've got to do an AGM. So,
Do you know what it stands for?
so I now am going to reopen the AGM from December last year. And so, having reopened the AGM, I would like to nominate Russell Holland as treasurer.
Seconded.
Paul Michelson as deputy treasurer. Graham Coomer as secretary. Angus Thompson as fellowship director. Andrew Taylor, community service director. Big John Lyons, Youth and International. Do I have any further nominations?
Hell no.
I have no further communication. nominations, then I would like to suggest we nominate on the ones that I've nominated. So all those in favour? All those against? Thank you very much. Congratulations to those appointees. The AGM is now closed.
Have we got any money?
He's hilarious, isn't he?
What about women in the club?
It's funny you say that, Smithy.
You and Jan are on your own, Smithy.
Girls should be approached in about 2 days, 1st of July, because I was approached during the year and I put them off to the 1st of July. So
I know you've eagerly been all waiting to know what we're going to be up to for the next 12 months.
Yeah.
So this is it. Rightio. For me, first of all, number one about Rotary is all my mates. So all my mates and friendship is number one for me in Rotary.
Name one.
You guys are getting my cousin, you know what I mean, right? No, you know no one on a Thursday, right? No, you know no one on a Thursday, no. But by after your first game, you know everyone, hey? They're all your mates. That's what it is, Asian Karamu Rotary. You get into this club, number one, we're all friends and we all look after each other and we all help each other. That's the unwritten rule, isn't it? So that's number one for me. Number two for me, there's only two. Number two for me is the opportunity to help our community. Because that's important to me too. Because not for selfish reasons, but I get my income from the community and I love putting a bit back in. I love seeing others get a bit out of the community. And that's where I see, 50 individuals can't do much. But as we've heard from Paul tonight, 50 together do heaps. And that's what we have done in the past, and that's what I'm hoping we're going to do in the future. My theme, if you like, for the year is keeping it local. So I think, Hastings particularly, we're a community that needs a little bit of help. There's plenty in our community that needs a little bit of a leg up, and there's plenty of disadvantaged people that who try hard, but maybe with a little bit of extra help can get to places they didn't even dream of. And that's the opportunity for us, is to help those sort of people out. So keeping it local by supporting locals. Okay? I'm not looking at reinventing the wheel. There's plenty of programs out there that are active and happening. And so the year ahead, we want to search out those programs and look at, okay, what can we do for those people, those programs that are running, to give them a little bit of support, to let them know there's a business community out there that actually cares about them, and we want to try and support them a bit further. So that's what I'm looking at doing. So on the community services, the youth. John, you're up first, and John's got a big year ahead of him. Right, John?
Just sit down.
We're going to continue the Outward Bound with Hastings Boys High. So we're going to send out someone again down in December this year, the Outward Bound. We're going to keep that one going. We're looking at a scholarship. Because of our association with the helicopter, and for years and years, Hastings Boys High, Hastings Girls High have helped us with the helicopter party. So it's time to give a bit back. And one thing we're doing it with is with the Outward Bound. The second thing we're going to look at doing is doing a scholarship at Hastings Girls High. Someone that's really got the potential to do well, but maybe hasn't got the wherewithal from mum and dad to get that extra step. So we're looking at doing a little a scholarship for someone with potential for further education there. We're going to rejuvenate the RILA, which is the leadership program for 20 to 24-year-olds that we haven't been in for a little while because the club got probably a little bit stale on it.
Just to correct you there, please, it's up to the age of 26 now. It's been
26.
Oh, you
Johnny's up with it.
As well.
Fantastic.
I checked the website.
Thank you, Shona, for the details.
So we're going to rejuvenate some of those programs that are already in place. The RILA at the Cambridge, where there's a leadership course going, they bring in the best speakers in New Zealand. They really try and get these young leaders from, in our case, Hawke's Bay, G'd up, bring them back to Hawke's Bay. And they might be our apprentices, our technicians, our airport people, whoever, but we need to come and work on that and support it. So I'm putting them out there now. April next year, that's the time we want to send some people down there. Guthrie Smith, we have the Ripen Outdoor Education Centre. Rotary's got a program in place where we send people, young youths, young 16, 17, 18-year-olds down to Terra for a fantastic weekend. So we're going to keep that one going. We're going to keep the relationship going with Hastings Intermediate, and I was absolutely bloody heartened by John when he said to me the other day, after the first directors meeting, Bill, we're looking at extending that program also to Heratonga Intermediate. So that's a big year for the youth guys. So every directors meeting, you've got a hell of a lot to talk about, guys. Out at Gus, who's doing our fellowship, I asked Gus to do the job for a specific reason. You know, we need someone young, someone to think young. And that's why I asked Gus to do the job. So I know he can. We want to keep young and to keep reinvigorated. We need guys like Gus come into the club and give us new ideas. So thanks for taking that on board. And, one of the projects that we've got coming up, I was talking to Andy Lowe. Actually, prior to that, I was talking to around our gardens, so why does that happen? Well, one of the reasons it's happening is because what's happened out at the Cape Sanctuary. And just keeping it local again, we've had Andy Lowe out there and he's invited us to go out there as a group and enjoy what's happening out there. So I rang up Andy and I said to him, hey look, is there anything you can think of that maybe the Rotary could help you do what's going on out there? Because that's a fantastic legacy that you're leaving for, but not maybe just us, but also we're seeing the rewards straight away, but also what's coming up. And Andy said, well, I'll tell you what, Bill, firstly, thank you very much for doing, you guys put so much into the community already, you don't have to come and put extra into this. No, I said, you've given us the opportunity, and we have the opportunity to support what's going on out there. He said, well, there's a shore plover. That's a shore plover, anyway, everyone. There's 150 of these left in the world. This species is going extinct. And I had quite a good conversation with Andy about it.
Are they edible?
Take it away.
Andy said, look, how would you guys, people, like the opportunity to support rebreeding these shore plovers? So I said, okay, maybe when we come out there for our visit later on, when the days get longer, we'll come out there for a visit. And, we ask some friends and we ask our groups who are like-minded people that enjoy walking the pathways, enjoy seeing those birds, the kingfishers, the tuis. Maybe we ask a group of people when we come out there and we charge $20 each and we go out there and we enjoy the visit and we make that to go towards the aviaries, build up that population. And Andy was absolutely very thrilled with the idea. It's only a little gesture, but he's absolutely wrapped with it. So that's it's a project we want to hand over to Gus as part of the fellowship. So, you know, we can all go there and have a good time. It doesn't cost us much, but we can give back to our community in that way. So that's the Gus with fellowship. Andrew's going to be doing the helicopter party, and which of course is our mainstream event of the year, and the Cranford Golf Hospice, the Hospice Golf Tournament. So his committee will be heading that, and I'm sure they'll do a great job of that. So you know, it's all about really the next 12 months just giving a little bit to our community, and also flying the flag. Look, I don't see anything shame about flying the Karamu flag, Karamu Rotary, you know. So we're going to get some banners made, we're going to actually at these events put our flag up, and we're going to say, hey, this is who we are, because we are proud Karamu Rotarians. Thanks, everyone. Oh, carry on, everyone.